Hello friends, I only have a minute, but I'm about to leave on a long weekend trip and I thought I'd take you with me. I have a pretty busy itinerary, but I want to see how much sketching I can get done even in a short amount of time. So this is one of the 6 sketchbooks I'm trying to finish this year. There are only 16 pages left and it would be really cool to finish it so I can move on to the next one. However, like I said, my schedule is busy for this weekend. I feel like holiday weekends generally are, and I won't have a ton of designated sketchbook time. Instead, I'm hoping to just open this up whenever I have 5 minutes or so to work on it. I have a bag full of fun supplies and we'll just see what we can do. So with all of that little intro out of the way, let's get on the road. Not only am I busy on my vacations and holidays, I am really busy just in my normal day-to-day life, and I can often make excuses because of that busyness that I just don't have time for my art. But ultimately, I spend so much time on my phone and on social media that I know I have the time. I am just designating it differently. So during this weekend, I really wanted to challenge myself to actually focus on prioritizing my art, even if it's only 5 minutes at a time. And even though we had a really long drive, I did no drawing in the car because I get really car sick when I'm looking down at something. So unfortunately, those hours I couldn't use. But I was able to draw in the evenings here, right before bed. So instead of scrolling before bed or reading before bed, which I sometimes do, I focused on filling up my sketchbook a little bit before my head hit the pillow. And we did have a fantastic time on our little trip. It was very peaceful, and even in the midst of the chaoticness and busyness and seeing everybody, we definitely just felt very at peace being kind of away from the city and just being able to have a change of scenery. I often found myself working on my sketchbook in the morning before everyone else woke up. I'm just an early riser, so I had my cup of tea and was able to work in it a bit. And I've really been embracing my acrylic markers, of course, and so that's mostly what I used. I did bring some inks, but I didn't use those at all. I was barely at all, I suppose. I was really mostly enjoying working with color and experimenting with that, and I'm really happy with how some of these pages turned out, and I'll show you all of those in a minute. Hey, how's it going? We're halfway through our trip, and I feel like it's been pretty nice so far to be able to make some art 5 minutes here and there, just going about our day. Our schedule is still really busy, so I don't feel like I have as much time to sit down for a full, huge long sketchbook session, but it is really nice to be able to just pick up my sketchbook for a few minutes. I definitely feel like when I'm on vacation, when I'm in this rest time of just enjoying vacation and enjoying being in a different place, I feel like I can really just be in my sketchbook. I don't feel the need to meet some sort of goal or some sort of like agenda. I really feel like I'm at peace in my sketchbook this weekend, and it's been really nice to kind of have that as just like a something to fall back on, to work on whenever I have a few minutes, and I'm already just feeling so rested and relaxed that I feel like I can go into my sketchbook time with just some peace. That peace makes the art, I think, even more special. So I've enjoyed taking my time with things, and even in those 5 minutes here and there, I feel like I've been able to make some really great stuff. So we'll see how the rest of the weekend goes, but this little check-in, I'm really enjoying it. And by the time I recorded that, I actually didn't end up drawing much at all after my little check-in. So the rest of the weekend went by very quickly, and then we were home. And I, had just a few hours of the weekend left and decided to wrap up my final spread. So I wanted to show what I was working on here as well. This page, I am finishing extremely quickly in under half an hour. Maybe it's 20 minutes or so, but I just wanted to at least finish the spread. Sometimes it's hard for me to leave a spread half finished. So I definitely wanted to get that going. And for this page, I am using a reference from the Summer Alps Challenge hosted by Petite Crocus. And I've really been inspired by seeing a lot of those works on Instagram. So I definitely recommend searching for that because it's been really fun to see what other people are doing. And I feel like I've found even more fun artists to follow through this little challenge. And I haven't been participating, but I thought I would use one of the references to try it out today. And I feel like finding references sometimes is hard and takes up a lot of time, but I try to have a saved folder on my Instagram where I can go back if I don't have a specific thing I want to draw. I can just go back to that folder and see a whole bunch of things that are inspiring to me. And I also take a lot of photography myself, mostly so that I can use them for references. So I recommend kind of becoming a photographer. So then you have your own references to go back to very easily. And then you always have something to draw. Because I can get paralyzed a little bit with just drawing from memory or doodling. So yeah, I usually like using a reference for a lot of things. I will say everything else that I drew for this weekend, I didn't use a reference at all. I just kind of was just playing around. So this is the only one that I'm using a reference for, but that was really fun. And yeah, I'm just really loving using color, and I hope I can expand my color palettes by getting some more markers soon. So over the whole weekend, I was able to finish 3 spreads or 6 pages. So I really don't have very much left. And there are a few things I recommend doing if you're trying to prioritize your creative process in your daily life, especially if you are busy like me and have a full-time job and many other things going on. The first thing is to make sure that your creative process and time with your creativity is a high priority for you. And it doesn't have to be the highest priority, but if you actually sit down and list out your values, list out the things you want to spend your time on, if your creative process is on that list, so like anywhere, just actually having noticed that and said that out loud can be really helpful to know, okay, that's what I want to spend my time on. That's something I want to prioritize. And secondly, recognize that even 5 to 10 minutes in your creative practice is a success. You don't have to be spending hours and hours a day on whatever your creativity is, because not everyone has the time for that. Not everyone's a full-time artist. And many of us have lots of other responsibilities. And so even just doing 5 to 10 minutes a day is still a success, and you should celebrate it as such. And the final thing that I would recommend is just keep your sketchbook with you wherever you go, because you never know when those 5 to 10 minutes might pop up, and like proximity will help, encourage, consistency. And if your sketchbook is nearby, it's just easier to grab that rather than just grab your phone. So thank you so much for coming with me on this little weekend trip, and I hope you enjoyed these little sketchbook spreads I was able to do. I'm really happy with them, and I've just been so enjoying exploring color. And I'm almost done with this sketchbook, so hopefully another sketchbook tour is coming to you really, really soon. In the meantime, keep drawing, keep painting, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.